This is the diagram to show you that there are two ways of improve the qualities, but there are one way of output that increase the profit. Two ways is mean once you improve the quality, one side is about that you can increase more of your sale. Why you can increase about your sale? Because first, you can improve about your reputation. If you can make the image or the perception of the customer about your company, about the product, that you have very high qualities. So it's gonna help you a lot when you launch the product or launch the new products. So this is like we call it the perception of the qualities. That can help a lot about your reputation. That means you can setting up the higher price for the higher qualities, and also you respond better in terms of time and in terms of the delivery. So that's why it's going to result in you getting more sale. But another way is that if you improve your qualities, you can reduce your cost. This is because when you have the better qualities, it means that you try to decrease about the rework and scrap rate, right? Or decrease about the defect of the product. So in that way, it means that you reduce about the rework and scrap rate. It means you help you reduce about the cost and also reduce about the warranty cost or the cost that you need to pay because the customer is unsatisfied with your product. And in terms of productivity, we know that productivity is measured in terms of output divided by input. So if you can save by the cost, or you can reduce by the defects, or reduce by the rework, so it means that you can produce more output with the same input. So that's why you can have the better productivities. So in this case, right, in the overall, this way is gonna reduce your operating cost, right? So both way can have on the one way impact to organization that it can increase your profit. So that's why the importance of the qualities. In general, for this chapter, we talk a lot about the TQM. So this is about the flow of the activities that if the company would like to apply the TQM to the organization. So what should be the activity that they have to do, right? So it's starting with the big picture and until you down to the others part, right, of the organization. For example, if you would like to apply the TQM, firstly, it comes from starting with the leadership of the management team. So it means that the top management need to realize about the importance of the quality. So they need to setting up or bring the quality objective into the mission of the organization. Right, and they need to support all the activity that can help improve quality into the organization. So that's why that would be the first priorities of the activities. That would be the in the term of setting the vision, mission, and also we require the leadership of the top management. And after that, if you have your realize about the importance of the quality, you have your motivation to improve the quality. Next thing, you need to have your theory, you need to have like the principle, you need to have about the framework. So the knowledge of concept of tool qualities or other things such as the concept of continuous improvement or concept of the TQM would be another thing that we need to do. And then don't forget that for the TQM, right? It's come from the total quality management, so it means that everyone in organization needs to help and work together. So then you need to cascade or translate, right, that concept, right, that thinking of the management and also the concept of the principle or the framework of the quality into the employees, right? And also at the same time, you need to believe in your employees and give them more authorities. So the employee empowerment or let them to have more authority about the making the decision would be the good thing that you need to do for the activity. And when you transfer the concept from the top to the bottom, that means that you try to empower and you try to adjust the attitude of the people in the organization, and also you try to trust and believe in the employees and let them to do their job, let them to have their authority, let them to have more empowered to make the decision regarding to the quality problem or solving the quality. And then finally, it's going to impact right to the customer. Customer gonna have their, gonna have their satisfaction. That means they're gonna have more loyalty about your organization, about your product. So you're gonna have the chance to have the repeat customer to buy and using your product again. So this kind of the things, right? So starting from the top one and also spread into the organization, and also it's going to impact to the customer. So you can see that quality is quite important thing. Yes, and it's good luck for us that we study now in the evening, not in the afternoon after the lunch. So if you study about the topic of the quality after lunch, so you can expect about feeling sleepy or feel more or something like that. But now it's evening, so I think that we are not feeling like that. But anyway, this is a definition of the quality. So there are a lot of definitions regarding to the quality, but I bring the definition from the American Society for Quality. So the main or the key message about the definition of quality is that you can see that this is about the abilities, right, of product and services to satisfy the need of the customer. So this is quite the main thing. So now, for today, when we talk about the quality management, you're gonna hear and listen a lot of things about customer satisfaction, customer want, customer needs, something like that. So this is kind of the basic things, foundation of the quality. And also, the quality is depend on the point of view that which side that you are. This is a list of the different views about the quality. For example, if you are the user base, you are the user, you are the consumer, the quality may be unified from the performance of the products or the service, right? If you were like the manufacturing, right? Manufacturer, you can think in the term of you produce a product that's conform to the standard, right? If you think in the term of the products. Right, look at the products that have the perform and have the abilities to satisfy the customer. That's maybe the thing that you can think, it have like that good qualities, right? So it depends, right? Which side that you are, and we also have the implication of the quality as well. So, for example, the first thing is about the company reputation. The good qualities you can imply about the reputation of the company. Good qualities mean the perceptions in the future or the perception of the customers quite good. So, if you have the perceived qualities about the customer, so this is help a lot, as I mentioned, about your reputation. So, because when you try to launch the new products, gonna have the advantage about the people or the customer gonna respond and believe in your product and try to acquire to your product. Such like now maybe it's not that obvious, but in the past, let's think about the Apple. Right? Apple make like the perceived qualities to the customer. So when they launch which product, right, a lot of products that you can have like a impact response from the customer. No matter what the product that they're gonna launch, maybe this is already launched from other competitor, but Apple show about the perceived qualities, the things. So it's gonna have the advantage about the perception of the new products. You're gonna have the chance that the response good from the customer. And also we can think about in the term of the employment practice. So the good qualities, you can think that company is gonna have the good operation. Good operation come from the good people. So that's why you can think about the employment. You can have the good people working in that organization. And also good qualities, good products, maybe it's come from the good part or good material. Good part and good material come from the good supplier. So you can imply that that organization maybe they have the partner that be the supplier that have a very good supplier, something like that. And for the bad side, if you have the bad qualities, you need to have like what we call the product liability. This means that you need to respond and tell and solve the problem of that quality. So is this a bad thing that if you have the bad qualities and it's impact a lot of customer, sometimes you need to recall it back from the product. That will be your cost. So you hear a lot about that. Okay, this brand or automobile have the problem about that system, about that part of the car, and then they recall that model. Let's say that the airbags or something like that. So that would be the product liability. You need to respond to the mistake, and that's going to cost you, right? And how about the global implication? In the term of quality, you can see that good qualities, good organization, they try to have the ability to compete around the world. So they can try to acquire good people from around the world, and also they try to compete in almost every market in the world. So let's think that the thing that we can imply from the quality. And the next one is about the list of the key dimensions of the quality. So I believe that all of them you maybe known all these or maybe familiar with all these. For example, performance is about the main characteristic of that product and service that it needs to do, right? And conformance is about the things in the term of the conformance with the specification or the expectation, right? Durability, you know that. Serviceability, you know that. Aesthetic is about things that make beautiful appearance and good taste, good smell, and the one that are very focused in the podcast about the perceived quality that I said, right? The perceived quality is about the links directly into the reputation of organization. If you can have the perceived qualities happen to your customer, right, you're going to have an impact a lot about your reputation and impact a lot when you launch a new product, as I mentioned, right? And this is like the explanation for each key dimension. So you know that I don't want to specific to explain again. But anyway, we know that in business, right, we have part of the service business and manufacturing business. So this is quite the example, the quality dimension for both of these businesses. So let's talk about the product and service. Product is about the automobile and service is about the auto repair. So in terms of the performance, you can see, right, that for the product, it's been that things like the grade of material used, things like everything is work, fit, and finished. But for the service, right, we talk about the courtesy, we talk about the friendliness, we talk about the quickness, something like that. Aesthetic, right, design for the product. But for the service, we can think about the clean work, waiting area, something like that. Right? So, or another things that we can see, right, as I talk to you about the perceived quality. Perceived quality for the product, you can think about the term of the top grade car, right? So Lexus or other brands that they're very high-end car. So it's perceived quality that, okay, if you buy that car, that brand, so you're going to have the good quality of your car, right? But on the other hand, for the service, you can think about the perceived quality in the term of award or winning that they're getting, right, from their service, something like that. So this kind of the comparison, right? But anyway, at the beginning, for now, I would like to see that, okay, the quality is quite important. And the one thing that when we talk about the quality, we need to understand that normally we're going to have the quality award, right? The most popular one and the most like the foundation for others. National Quality Award is about the multiple award National Quality Awards. This is like the Quality Award, right, from US, right? It's established in 1988, right, and it's designed about the criteria of this award based on the TQM concept, right? So the good thing of this is that the criteria of award is not just okay, you're gonna have the good quality of your products only. But if you look at the criteria of the Markov audit criteria, you're gonna see that it consists of 7 sections, right? It consists of 7 sections, and each section or each category, right, is not just focused for the product, but if you look at the category, right, it's including about the leadership, it's including about the strategy, marketing, information or IT, process, human resources, and also the organizational result. So which means that this award, right, is gonna, the evaluate not based on the quality of your product, but is based on your overall management of your organization. So it's gonna also have about the point for each section. You can see the highest point is organizational result. So it means that the first financial things about the financial result, the profitability of the organization, going to be the almost 50% of the criteria that they're going to consider you to getting the award or not. And if your company, right, listed in the stock market, so the organizational result normally they're gonna take care of just only the company that have the blue chip, right, stock, something like that. And if you look at the points beside the organizational result, the next big point is come from the leadership or come from the top management, right? And the total of point is around 1,000. Right? So generally, if you're getting more than 600, you can getting the award. Right? And the step of apply award is that you need to write your report, right? Evaluate your organization and write the report and submit to the institution that take care of all this award, right? And then they're gonna send the mentor people, right, like the mentoring team, to evaluate your organization, evaluate your business, and give the feedback to you. So the good thing of apply the National Quality Award is that no matter what you're gonna getting award or not, finally you're gonna getting the feedback from the mentoring team. That you're gonna comment that okay, this area is good, this area is bad. Should you improve that, something like that. And if you're getting the award, right, you need to tell or show others company or other organization to see that how well that you manage about your organization, right? Show about your report, about your performance, something like that. But in Thailand, we also have the National Quality Award based on multiple body National Quality Award, as well we call Thailand Quality Award or TQA. The สถาบันเพื่อผลผลิตแห่งชาติ This is the Thai name. This is like the department that take care of about the Thailand Quality Award. They're using the same criteria with the Markov audit. But also, in Thailand, we also have another award we call the Thailand Quality Class. That would be like a little award from this one. So other countries that doesn't have it, but for Thailand we have. Because we care about people. We care about that. Okay, you try so hard to getting the award, but you didn't get it. But you're gonna have like that, just about the running up or something like that. So in Thailand, if you cannot reach to 600 points, but you have more than 300, something like that, you're gonna getting the award that we call Thailand Quality Class. Right? So you know about the Bumrungrad Hospital, something like that, right? that kind of the organization that get just only Thailand Quality Class. So we have the Thailand Quality Awards almost 20 years, like 17 or 18 years. A lot of year past that we have no award for any organization because it's not qualified for that. But we have just PTT company like they're doing like the gas in Lyon province to getting the award. We have like the companies, one company from SCG, I cannot remember. But besides that, there is no organization that getting the Thailand Quality Award, just maximum for Thailand Quality Class. but just information. But anyway, I just want you to know that okay, we have like the Quality Award, right? National Quality Award, Thailand Quality Award, or even though Australian Quality Award, European Quality Award, Japanese Quality Award is come from this, right? Multiple of the National Quality Award, right? And the key message from this award is that using the concept of the TQM practice to design for the criteria of evaluation. And the next thing that beside the quality award, when we talk about the quality that you need to know is about what we call the cost of qualities. So this means that in the qualities context, we have 4 costs. Right? The first cost we call appraisal cost. The appraisal cost is cost that you pay for evaluate your products and your service. So I would say like the inspection cost. Because inspection, right, in the term of qualities context, in the quality aspect, is not the good thing. Because inspection, you are not adding any value to product or service. You are not make the product and service improve. Inspection is just you try to detect that this product have the defect or not. Something like that. It's not the way to increase the value into your product, or it's not the way to improve the quality of the product. And who are perform the inspections going to be the staff, right, the workers or the people. And people get tired, get fatigued, something like that. So that would be the cost, right? It's going to have the mistake, it's going to have the unstandardable, it's going to have like the mistake and that can happen. So the cost that you pay for the inspection cost, let's say, or the cost that you evaluate the product, we call appraisal cost. But it's not that much as the rest of 3 costs. The next one is about the prevention cost. The prevention cost is about the cost that you pay in order to avoid getting about the defect or avoid getting about the failure, something like that. So let's say about the training cost or the cost that you buy in the very high-end technology or very new machines, right, that perform real fast or have a good performance, something like that you try to prevent the defect or prevent the failure that's going to happen. That's cost we call prevention cost. But these 2 costs are very low when you compare to another 2 costs. The third cost is about internal failure cost. This is about the cost that you have to pay in the case that you find a defect product before you deliver to the customer. So let's imagine that now you find that okay, this product have some defect. Before you deliver to your customer, what you gonna do? You will not deliver to your customer for sure, right? And what you do next? You may rework, you may reproduce, you may fix it. So that's kind of the cost of internal failure. The rework cost, right, is about the internal failure. But the major cost or the highest cost of the quality is about the last one. This is the external failure cost. For the external failure cost, is about the cost that you have to pay in the case that you already delivered that defect product to the customer. So what happens if that case is going to happen is occur? So for sure, customer unsatisfied, right? The cost they're going to face is about the loss of goodwill of your company, right? The perception of your company loss, and also they're gonna return your product to you. Cost of warranty, cost of claim from their customer, something like that. So this is the major cost, right? The big one, right, from the cost of qualities. And also we know that the quality management and ethics need to link together, because don't forget that the product and services provide the risk or the injury to the customers lead to losses and recall and any violation of the regulation. So normally we need to think that we have to deliver the very healthy, safe, and good quality of the product and service to the customer. So please do not ignore about the ethics, because it's gonna lead you to fail of your business. Right? And right now you can see that the social media is quite very fast, right, to impact to the customer. You're just doing something wrong just one time, right? It's gonna fail. But so in the future we have no. Let's talk about that. Okay, now it's about the real case, but I don't know that everyone can feel that, just me or not, but I can feel. Do you know that in the past, I cannot remember 2 or 3 years ago, we have the problem of the Malaysian airline that missing the
MH370.
yeah, something like that. And what happened? And after that, we're gonna have another case at Malaysian airline again. So today, if we have to fly, and Malaysian airline, what can you feel? So I'm not sure, but maybe it's just feeling, right? But I mean, let's think that, okay, sometimes you have some mistake just one time, or the quality is gonna impact a lot. Right? So in the past, I have the real experience that I asked about the management, right? You know that Motoya, right? Motoya, the Japanese restaurant in Thailand. I think 5 or 6 years ago, they have one case that's very popular. That one of their products, the customer feel about some like the policies in that pork meat, and they said it's not that policy. It's just the tendon of pork, something like that. But actually, I don't know. It is not, but it's the impact because I hear from the management is that just in that one case, one day the sale dropped more than 10%. Because it just spread into Facebook or social media that okay, the menu from the Otoya, we have the problem that it's not that fully cooked. It's have the policy inside something that is not real or not, that we don't know, but sometimes, right? Okay, so we just warming up about the concept of quality. So now we're gonna move to the topic that we are very interesting and for your case study, you can study just general case about the organization that doing really good about the qualities, the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, right? They do a lot of things, right? So you can see based on the case study, okay? And one concept that we can see here that we can apply, the very popular one is about the TQM. T is come from total, Q is quality, M is management. So total quality management is just have the TQM have the just 3 philosophy. They have the philosophy 3 things, right? The first one is about focusing on the customer. So no matter what you do, you focus on the customer only. The second thing is about everyone involved. So it means that TQM means that everyone in the organization needs to involve and need to help and work together. And the last one is about continuous improvement, right? So it's never-ending process, right? For the qualities, no one that have like the 100% perfect. It still have the room or the space to improve. That's why the third thing, right? And they have a lot of definition of the TQM, but actually the TQM is just like the management thing that they try to change about the attitude. They try to change our organization. So try to make everyone in organization think in the same way about the quality and see that, okay, if you drive for the need of the customer, if you help together, and if you improve, never ending process, you're gonna have the excellent organization. And based on the TQM, actually is developed from the one concept of the guru in the quality, Edward Deming, right? Edward Deming he is the US guy, and he's very famous in about the thinking about the qualities or the quality control. In the past, he's starting in US, but it's not success because people are not believing in his philosophy. But then after the World War II, he moved to Japan and quite success. And then US bring him back to US. And this is like the I can say it's for the rule or the concept of the Deming. Actually, Deming is believe in the system, right? Deming believe in the system. He thinks that the problem of the quality is not come from the mistake of the people, but actually it's come from the mistake of the system. Right? So he believed that we need to look in using like a system point of view. So things in the subsystem have to link together. You need to think like the big picture, see how linkage between each subsystem together. For example, let's think that okay, if you were in the department like the purchasing department, if you address just only your department, you are not concerned other department. So maybe your job is that okay, we're gonna have the deal from the customer, from the supplier that provide the lowest price. So this is very success from our department, the purchasing. We save a lot of cost because we have the customer that provide the very lowest price. But at the same time, how about the department about doing the production? They can think about the part or the material that the department of purchasing deal. Lowest price doesn't mean you have the good quality, right? So if you have the problem with the quality, the production department fail. They cannot even make the production that meet the standard that required for that product. So you can say you succeed for purchasing, but you fail for the production. So that means that okay, you need to look at the whole system, and he believed that the problem is come from the variation and come from the system. The variation is the main point or the major point of the bad qualities, right? And also, Deming also thinks that okay, we need to have like the concept of the knowledge, know how everything is going on, working together, and also we need to have like the concept of the psychology, understand people. How can we let people working together? How can we translate their attitude from level to another level, something like that? Or how can we, have the relationship with the supplier, have the relationship with the customer? So this is his belief. So then he proposed what we call the 14 point of Deming. This kind of, as the foundation for the concept of TQM. So let's say each of them, right? The first one, they create consistency of the purpose. Actually, it means that if you concern much about the quality, you need to setting up in your vision and mission. Right? So you need to set as your objective, the big one, not just saying that you're gonna do. So you need to set as the objective of your organization. You need to blend this objective into your mission. The second one is about to promote change. So you need to, learning the new things and try to, work, understand the new philosophy, new framework, a new concept, right? And the third one is just like, just I mentioned that stop depending on inspection, right? Because the inspection doesn't add the quality to your product. But how can we add the quality to the product? The best way to dealing with about doing the good thing, doing the right things in the first time, or what we call the quality in the source. He believed that okay, if we try to do our basics the first time, right, before we deliver the output to the customer, so we can build about the qualities, right, not the inspection. Long-term relationship, right, not price. So it means that, for example, I mentioned about the purchasing department. So you select the supplier based on price. That's a good thing because you can have inconsistency about the quality. Because this month you have the supplier A because provide the lowest one. The next month maybe you get in supplier B provide the lowest price. So the quality is not consistency. So the good way to deal with about that case is about you need to build a relationship with the supplier and then improve that relationship to be the partner with the good supplier. So then he encouraged to use the concept of supply chain management, by build a relationship, have to be a partner with the supplier, not just think that okay, we're gonna select the supplier based on price, right? And continuous improvement, right? Just like the way that exists, that is never-ending process, right? Try to improve again and again and again, right? Just a little is gonna better than you are doing nothing. Right? Training, in this case, they talk about the training about the workforce skill, training about the skill, the qualities, right? This is we're doing for the present time. But emphasize that leadership, the seventh one is being the management need to have like their leadership. They need to support and they need to coach their employees, right? And how about their fear? It just mean things about the, normally since the TQM or the concept of quality is mean that we try to change the attitude of the employee or attitude of the people in the organization. So normally people have their own fear. One big fear is about change, right? So let's think about you guys. What you gonna do after you graduate from the MBA program? So I think a lot of you guys, maybe you can think about changing the job or think about in the new position, or some of you maybe think about, okay, I'm going to do the business, something like that. Right? So, but let's think about the way back in when you graduate about the bachelor degree and you need to work as first time. So you fear for sure. Right? You fear what? You fear about the expectation. Right? Every time that you move the workplace, one fear that coming in your mind is about you fear that, okay, they're gonna expect a lot from me. They're gonna expect that, okay, I'm graduated from blah blah blah. I have this degree. I used to do that. So maybe they didn't know that actually I'm nothing. So, but I have the good resume, but actually I know a little things about that, but I do this, so I was always write down the resume, but you fear about expectation, just like this. You work for the employee in organization, right? They're doing that for the long time as usual. And one day you can apply the concept of quality, you apply the TQM or apply the what others framework. So they fear that they're gonna, change something, right? Losing something, losing the authority, losing about the responsibility, something like that. So that means that, okay, you don't need to fear, so you need to go on. Break down the barrier between the department, as I mentioned, that he encouraged to do like a cross-functional or working together between a department. Number 10, it's just like that, it's mean that when you try to encourage people to do for doing like the qualities, not just, okay, you have the slogan, you have the poster, you have the encourage ways that to try to make the people in the organization realize about the qualities, right? So it's not a good way to do it. Right? That means that, okay, doing something that not doing the real things, it just, was nothing, right? So using the slogan, using the poster, using the encourage, using like the money to motivate people to do this, maybe it's not a good thing. And okay, help support improve, and this means that everyone to work together, remove the barriers. So you need to setting up the joint price of the work from the workforce. And education should be another thing that he thinks that is the organization should do, because education thinks in terms of future, but not training. Training is for present time, but education is for the future. And also just do it, right? Just transform, right? Just going to work, something like that. So you can look at a lot of things here is just like try to change like the system, right? And for the TQM, they have a lot of things to talk with the TQM, but based on the textbook that I used to teach you, they pick up the concept of the TQM based on 7 concepts listed here: continuous improvement, Six Sigma, employee empowerment, benchmarking, just in time, Taguchi concept, and the knowledge for the TQM2. So we're gonna see each of them, right? Let's start with the continuous improvement. As I mentioned, continuous improvement is just the way that, okay, there is no 100% perfection, right? So it's just like that, we still have the room or space to improve. So the concept of continuous improvement in Japanese word is called Kaizen. Kaizen in Japanese word is mean continuous improvement. And it's involved about not just only that you improve about the big process. You can think about starting with any process and starting with a very cheap strategy, right? but it's come from the concept of PDCA, right? The Plan, Do, Check, Act, right? So just like that, you try to rolling the PDCA roll ball up to the hill, right? Once you reach the target, you just try to start that ball or that stone not go back again. So then you try to push that the PDCA roll to uphill again. So it's just like that. Once you achieve the target, just make it as a standard. So it means that when people who are coming as a new employees, or the people who are going to do, they can use that new target to be used as the standard to starting with. So if you do something like that, it means that you can improve a little bit, improve. Right? And besides the continuous improvement, the TQM is has another tool that we call the Six Sigma. Right? Six Sigma is about the method that we're using the concept of statistics, right, to help about the reduce the defect or reduce the mistake of the process. Right? Six Sigma is come from the standard deviation. Right? Six Sigma means you're using the concept of normal distribution, that you have the width of the distribution, right, for each side is about 6 sigma or 6 standard deviation. Right? If you can apply the 6 sigma based on the concept of 6 sigma, is allow just the defect just only 3.4 defect per million population, or it means from the million population you have the defect just 3.4 defect. So it's quite good, right? But it's doing it's very seriously because 6 sigma for each side, so you allow the mistake is very little. The 6 sigma using the concept of the DMAIC, right? Define the problem, and it's about the measurement. You measurement because you want to know about the target that you can improve, right? Because measurement is being measurement about the current situation compared to the target, so then you can know about the gap that you need to solve. Right? And A is called analyze the data. Actually, that we try to analyze the root cause of the problem. Right? We are not we are not solve just where is the top of the problem. We try to find the root cause of the problem. Because the root cause, if we can solve it, we can eliminate that problem. Right? And then I is come from improve. You have a lot of ways to improve the process, right? And C is for the control. So one is improve already from the I. So then you want to make sure that the good situation or the good process still stay maintained, right? So doing like the control, right? And for the Six Sigma. Since we are not focused much about the Six Sigma, they have, if you want to study Six Sigma, we can have another point. But for Six Sigma, well, in order to implement, right, we need to setting up of the team, right, and for sure that we need to have like a sponsor support. We call the champion, who are like the head that to be the team head of the team of the Six Sigma. And I believe that you may heard about the name of this before: Black Belt, Green Belt, Master Black Belt. This is quite the name of the member in the team of Six Sigma team, right? The Black Belt is just like the one that you have the fully trained about the statistical tool, and you used to pass already at least one Six Sigma project, and you perform as a full time for doing the Six Sigma project. But the Green Belt is just a member that you are like working as a part-time, something like that. Right? So anyway, everything that we're gonna do based on the Six Sigma implementation, it will not accomplish it if we are not have the supporting from the top management team. Right? So it's just the detail for the Six Sigma, right? So just reduce about the defect, reduce for the mistake, apply the concept of statistics to solve using the concept of DMAIC. And another one that I already mentioned is about the employee empowerment. Right? For the employee empowerment, is about that you give more authority to your employee. because we believe that okay, the employee or the workforce who are working at at their operation, they know well more than the people who are the boss that stay inside at the office. Right? So then, why not we let them to have more authority to make the decision about the problem solving for the qualities? Right. So this is just like the employee empowerment. Right. So it's gonna help a lot for building about the communication, give more authority to the employee. So the employee have more responsibilities. It's gonna help more about the high model organization, right? So because we need to trust them, and they have like more decision to do, something like that. So this is like the employee empowerment. And anyway, based on the problem solving in the quality problem, normally some organizations they do have like a team of employees that we call the quality circle. This team, just like the team that try to the solving for the problem of the quality in the organization, they have their train from their statistics method and train about the planning. Right, this is the very effective team to handle the problem of the qualities. We call the quality circle. Another one that we have in the TQM a lot is about the benchmarking. Benchmarking, we need to find the best practice. Right? It means the benchmarking means that you try to compare yourself with the best practice. The best practice is the organization or the one that doing best in that specific things that you are doing bad, right? And it's starting with you need to determine that what would be the things that you're going to benchmark with, right? And forming about the benchmark team, and then to identify the best practice and collect the data, analyze information. How can we do just like them, right? Something like that. The one thing that's very interesting about the benchmarking is about if you are big enough, maybe you are not doing like the external benchmarking, you can use internal benchmarking. So it means that let's say that you have the problem of the customer service, but your company is quite big, you have 1,000 or 2,000 branches in Bangkok. So why not you benchmark with others? Maybe you try to select the one or the two best customer service of your branches, and then you benchmark with them, something like that. And the benchmarking doesn't mean that you need to benchmark with the company or the organization in the same industry. You can benchmark with the different industry as well if you think that that company or the best practice doing well for the things that you are doing bad. So this is quite an example of the best practices of the company or the organization that resolving the customer complaint. So you can see the key message from here is that if I ask you what do you think about resolve for the customer complaint, so normally Thai people think that okay, the first step is should be say sorry, something like that. But this is in this slide you can see that the best practice for the organization that resolve the customer complaint is that starting the first step is about make it easy for client to complain. So let's imagine you have the problem in restaurant, right? And you want to talk with the manager of that restaurant. So let me find the manager of restaurant. So what you can have in Thailand? Sometimes you cannot reach to that person, the manager of the restaurant. Sometimes you have somebody that try to talking with you and try to prevent you to see that manager. So my point is that based on this best practice, we can say that okay, the best way to handle the complaint is that just make it easy for the client to complain. So you can say just like the way that you open the customer to make a complaint or to make a suggestion based on your website or web page, but you let them to once the people try to complain you via website, they need to are you already user or not? If you are not the user, you need to register. Then the customer click register. Once they click register, they need to fill a lot of things, right? And you have the request box. and then select the password and proceed next. When they proceed next, they're gonna have that red letter. Okay, this name or they use or so so let's think about the people who are mad with your service. They try to complain your website, but the thing that they face right now is just the process of register, doing things, apply things, and waiting the response or something like that. Just like the customer service now, when you're using like the credit card or you try to contact the bank about the internet banking whatsoever. So what you gotta do when you're calling to the customer service? So most of the time we have like the automatic customer service, right? Like the software. Okay, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and then for phase 1, they're gonna have inside more about phase 1, phase 1. So finally, for me, but if you are not the previous member, but the best way to dealing with, I'm gonna press 9 or 0 because I want to talk with that person, right, for the customer service. Because it's not that usual that we're gonna call to the customer service about the credit card. It means that you have to have some problem, that very big deal, that you want to talk with them, right? But you're gonna, your press, I don't know where it's but in the travel bank, maybe they think about they try to save for the cost, and that's fine. But in the term of the customer, where maybe we can think that, right? Just like that, you have the problem of your, cable TV, True Vision, OAS, Firebox, something like that. I don't know if you have the problem or not, but I used to have, waiting for them to pick up the phone almost 30 minutes. I try to compete with them, so not pick up. ถือลองนี่แหละ something like that. So I don't know. I waiting about 30 minutes to have someone to pick up the phone and talk to me. And finally, they said that okay, they cannot fix it. They're gonna proceed this thing to another department. Okay, and what next? Okay, you need to wait. I will call you back within 3 days or something like that. So something like that. So I have to have another one company, one bank that we have the problem with call. That's not respond, but they have like the automatic response that okay, I will call you back within 3 days or something like that. So what the hell I have the problem right now, right? So that's the kind of thing, right? And what next? Respond quickly, right? And we saw the complaint on the first contact. And use the computer to manage the complaint. So it is just like the same thing that you're going to see in the case study for the risk culture, that they use a lot of the software or database to manage how can you improve the quality and customer service, right? And recruit the best person for the service job. And the next one is a just-in-time. We're going to have, I believe that you can study just-in-time in the next course for the supply chain, and will be me to teach you again. Right? For the just-in-time, actually, the concept of just-in-time is just like that. Doing the just, for the just-in-time, the concept is they try to reduce for the inventory. Right. It's different from the traditional system. Traditional system is just like that. Okay, you try to don't care about the next process. When you finish, you send it. When you finish, you send it. So it's just like the push process. But for the just-in-time, right, you are just doing as you want, right, at the time that you want, something like that. So it's help a lot about reduce about the inventory. At the same time, it's reduce about the cost of quality. Why? It's reduce about the cost of quality because just-in-time means you are just doing right as it is to be, right, that you want to have. So it means that if you don't want it, you are not doing it. Right? So it means that let's think about the term of control the qualities. Right? If you are doing a lot just like mass things, right? You have the difficult to handle by the body. But if you have the small portion, right, you just doing just is to be that you want to have it, right? So you can have a better chance to handle water qualities more focused. So it can help you reduce the cost of quality, help improve water qualities, reduce water inventory. The just apply the concept of the pool system. Pool system is mean that you need to have like demand from the next process. Tell you that okay, right now I want this part. What amount that I want, they're gonna tell you right now how many and which part that they want, and then you're gonna proceed and send it to them. So you need to have that demand request. So it's just like the pool system. Pool system is mean demand pool from the next process. But for the traditional system, it's like the push system. You are not care that the next process need that output from you or not, but you finish, then you proceed to the next process. You finish, you send it to the next one. So if that process or if that department they are not using at that time, what they're gonna do? They're gonna keep it as inventory, right? So that's you have the big inventory. They're gonna have the cost of inventory, right? And this is quite a concept of just time. Another way, right? So if I let that the water in the ocean is just like the level of inventory. So and the stone, right, at the bottom is just like the scrap or the problem, right? Within your organization or within your production, right? You know that the problem is already there, but if you have more level of inventory, it's gonna blind you. Maybe you cannot feel it. Maybe you cannot see it. Right? So if you reduce the inventory level, just like reduce by the level of the water, you're gonna see more about the problem. Just like that, I used to have this like implication to tell you. Let's say that now you're very hungry and you go back home, you open your refrigerator. If your refrigerator you have abundance or full of food, what you gonna do? You can grab something, right, and eat. But you don't care what inside your refrigerator because you have a lot of food. But compared to the way that food is just like the inventory. If you have the very little or the just few food in the refrigerator, and you feel hungry, you go back home and you open your refrigerator, what happened? You're gonna consider more, you are so this is what this is can eat or not, and what the expiration date, you can maybe you can find something, right? So this soup is, oh my god, it's from last year, or this vegetable can, its expiration date is from 2 years ago or something like that. But you're gonna see the problem. You're gonna see something that that's maybe it's not that good food. But why you see that? Because you have a very small stuff in the refrigerator, but you try to find the one that you can eat. Right? Just like the inventory level. Actually, the problem is still there, but you didn't see it because you have a lot of inventory. Let's say that in your warehouse you have a very full inventory. So if you have the breakdown, if you have something damaged based on your part inside the warehouse, maybe you cannot see it because it's a lot of inventory in there. But if you have very small, you can see something that okay, we have a problem. Okay. The next one is about the Takuchi concept. Takuchi concept. The Takuchi concept. Takuchi is the name after the guru of the body from Japanese, this guy. The Takuchi concept is that the concept of Takuchi is based on that we need to have like the target oriented. It means that when you make the design of the products, right? We need to aim to respond to the need and the want of the customer. So aim to the target that customer wants. Right? So every distance that you miss from the target that customer wants is going to create the loss for your organization. So that's why they call quality loss function. So the best way to dealing with the variation, right? The Takuchi propose that you need to have that quality robustness. Right? The quality robustness means that you try to design products that can, handle or stay in the variation condition, right? Just like that, okay. And I think I've already mentioned that. Let's say that you have the leather boot or the rubber boot. The rubber boot is more robustness because the rubber boots you can wear the rubber boots and you can wear it and walk in the snow, in the mud, and in the water. But if you have the leather boot, it's just fashionable and just beautiful, but you cannot wear it to walking in the water or something like that. So sometimes the robustness you can think in the term of you can have the design or some part of the product that can use a lot of your to design some part that can use in more than one product. You can use in several products at the same time. And the quality loss concept, as I mentioned, that you're going to have the cost or you have the loss occur every time that you have the product that move away from the target that it would be what the customer wants. Right? The cost including about dissatisfaction, warranty cost. Okay, so it means even though that your output of your or your product is still in the specification range that the customer can accept it, but the Taguchi said that if you miss or far away from the target, you pay for the cost for sure, right? So then you need to have like a target oriented, right? You need to doing the best to respond to what the customer wants exactly. Right? For example, let's say that you are the manufacturing company that produce, let's say, the steel ring used in the automobile industry. And that steel ring, the customer require diameter around 1 centimeter. But if you produce for them 0.99 centimeter or 1.01 centimeter, they already accept. So if you produce the product that have the diameters not meet 1 centimeter, but you have 0.998, maybe you feel okay because the customer accepts within the spec, right? But actually, Taguchi said it's not okay because it is not actually that customer want, because the customer want exactly 1 centimeter, right? You need to try to do exactly 1 centimeter provide to the customer. Because if you're getting 0.998, even though it's close to 1 centimeter and customer can accept it, but you're gonna lose because let's imagine that you have another company that can provide exactly 1 centimeter steel ring to that customer what they have in the future. So maybe you lost that customer because they're gonna move to the one that can respond more than you, right? So this is just the set of the concept of the TQM that involve. We're gonna have the break here, and when you come back from the break, we're gonna study about the tool of the Q.